morning. I'm so glad you've joined us. Joe and Kim Palo with you. Middle of the week Wednesday. You want to finish your candy, your gum, whatever you got in your mouth as we come on the air. She decides to put candy in her mouth like it's like we're getting ready to go on. So she can't speak.
Don't worry about it, Joe. I'm in good shape.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I just want to hurry up, but you know what? I mean, an hour is an hour is an hour, but I got things to do. Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Yes, yes. And we want to say in advance, Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
We're so thankful for all of you out there for
Absolutely.
tuning in, and we're thankful for our guests that we're going to
We're thankful to our sponsors.
We're thankful
as well.
to our sponsors. I'm thankful for you, Joe.
I'm thankful for you, Kim. If it weren't for you,
you'd be a happy man.
I know. No, that's not true. No, you don't have to say that. No, I would never say that. I mean, I would think it. I never would say it. But no, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have, or I wouldn't have. Well, I mean, I would maybe somebody else, but I wouldn't have two lovely, handsome boys
That's right.
with you, which we are thankful for them.
Absolutely, good boys.
Corey and Matthew, our sons. Which it's getting close to Christmas, and one's 33, and one's 26, and it's still like, so for Christmas, Dad, what we're thinking, what we'd like, I would like for you maybe this Christmas to let me tell you what I want, and you get it. But anyway, so yeah, we got Christmas coming up, and gosh, it's 3 weeks away?
But more importantly, my mother will be here.
You keep bringing that up, Kim. I keep trying to
December
forget
the 16th.
that. No, I'm not. I don't really try to forget it. I can't forget it because you keep bringing it up. She is coming December the 16th.
She is.
And she's staying till right after Christmas.
Right, till the 27th.
And
it's 11 days, really. I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Because both of the flying days, those are half the days.
But it's only like 3 or 4 with us because, as you remember from last week, she's going to be staying a week with Dan and Beverly Howell. We've already established that. Dan's friend, Beverly knows her too. Friends for years, and she's going to be staying over there because they've got more room. At least that's what he said. She's welcome to stay. We got more room. But yeah, she's coming, my mother-in-law, who I do love, and she loves me. But I am the son-in-law, and you know how that is.
I'm the only child.
Right, so you know how that goes.
There you go. What else is there to say?
That's exactly right. And I remember yesterday as I was directing, and you were in that seat, same seat with Michelle sitting here, you kind of dogged my mother a little bit.
No, I didn't. I just
my
said,
mother, who is passed.
I didn't. I loved your mom. I still love your mom, even though she has passed. I loved your mom, and she's a hoot. But I still think that she didn't understand that Northern dressing has oysters in it.
No,
Nobody
Kim,
puts chicken livers in dressing,
people put
Joe.
chicken livers in dressing who want to put chicken livers in dressing. People put oysters with that want to put oysters. We didn't like oysters, chicken liver.
So she just wanted
And she
something
stuffed
to
it. It wasn't dressing, it was stuffing. It was stuffed in the bird. That's the other thing that was wrong. It wasn't like cooked outside the bird. It was in the bird.
Do you know how hard that is to get that to a safe temperature and to get your bird that's not all dried out?
Hey, look at me today. I'm fine. Picture of health. Thank you very much.
I know. You were used to dry turkey, that's all.
No, we just got very used to salmonella. It wasn't a problem in our family.
That's right.
We just got right over it. It's like rub a little dirt on it.
I've been trying for a long time, but no wonder I was undercooking that stuff over and over, but you just plowed right through
That's
it.
me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. You are the one getting sick. The kids.
That's right.
But yeah, so liver stuffing.
Do, but
and
I
you do. Kim does. She makes that. And you
done
know
that
what?
Because I love this man.
I will tell you this. My mother-in-law, if we were to eat with her, okay, for Thanksgiving, she would even create for me a dish of dressing with liver in it just for me, because nobody else eats it, and she would do that for me too.
I know. We have catered to you all these years, for 35 years.
And it better not stop now.
That's right. We've made sure there's some liver in his dressing, but he has his own. And it doesn't touch ours.
Nobody
or the bird.
touches it. I mean, I offer it. You guys want one? No. But yeah, and now this is something we found out a couple of weeks ago. We had Mayor Rowland on here, and I didn't know that he is a stickler for the bird being intact when it's placed on the table at Thanksgiving or Christmas. He doesn't like somebody to already have carved it and put the carved turkey on the table that you take what you want. He likes the whole bird there, and then you go from there. Now, I didn't know that about him. I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
It's
and we
the
don't
aesthetics.
have the room. We don't have we do have a formal dining room, but Joe has made it into his serial killer room. And so that's off limits.
Right.
There's a
A
snake.
lot of things in there
There's
you
a
don't ever
snake in
want to.
there. That's right. So anyway.
Enter at your own risk.
Right, and so we've really never done I mean, that would be the only time was at the holidays we ever used it anyway for that. And so it's been turned into an office, but we always do buffet style. And so where we set the table and everybody's, and it's all nice and festive and all of that, but then you have to go through the kitchen and get everything and then come back to the table.
And see, most families, most normal families, they put everything on the table. They all sit down at the table. They all talk about what they're thankful for. They hold hands. They say a prayer, and then they eat. Okay? At our family, you grab all the food. You sit at the table. You will say something thankful. You will say a prayer, but it's all the food's in the plate ready to go. And then you got, don't start eating yet, Matthew. You got to wait just a minute, and then but it's not where we all sit down and then we get the food. You get the food first, then you sit down, and you're ready to go.
Really? I don't remember it that way.
What?
I remembered us always doing it, and then the whole chaos took off after we said what we were thankful for and said the prayer, and then it was like people hurting each other.
Maybe when your dad was alive and your mother was around, but when it's just been like.
You're in charge.
When I'm in charge, okay, there's a new sheriff in charge.
Food, that's right, and he's in the line first.
Whoa! First of all, as any good father, I do get, quote unquote, the big piece of chicken, and I should.
Right.
Okay, as the dad,
and you get all the white meat.
I don't get all the white meat. I get as much as I want.
That's right.
And then, but the white meat is where it's at. Now, you said you like the dark meat. Your mother likes the dark meat. So enough said there. I can have the white meat.
Right.
Now, our kids like some white meat.
Right.
So we have to, we separate that. But as a general rule, if you like the dark meat, who do you care how much white meat I have?
don't.
You don't even like the white meat, you said, because it's dry.
I do. It just doesn't have as much. I mean, I do like the white, and I like the white meat for the sandwiches.
Why not the dark meat for the sandwiches?
Well, I don't know.
See?
It's just that I guess because of turkey
You're
sandwiches
absolutely out of your mind.
traditionally, everywhere you get one, it's the white meat, so you got that taste in your mouth. I don't know.
But now, what are we gonna? What have we decided we were gonna have? We're gonna have the dressing, the turkey. I heard Bruce talking yesterday about the cranberry sauce, canned.
You don't eat that.
No.
You don't care anything about that. So
I used to when I was young, and it was always out of the can.
And it has to be the jellied, right? And it's got to be the smooth one too.
The one that when you take it out of the can, it still looks like it's in the can
right.
with the lines
so you know
around
how
it.
to slice it.
Right, you slice
there
that.
Go.
But that's not
sweet
bad.
Potatoes.
No, not
me and Matthew are the only ones that do that.
Yeah, not me.
So we
corn, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
What else?
And I've got green beans, I've already done pinto beans. So, and I haven't done that before, but I had them, and I had some smoked ham, so I just did that. And those you can do early, that kind of stuff.
Now we're a day away, and so you got to think about this.
I know.
Too.
I got things to do. Let's hurry up and do this show.
It takes an hour. It's an hour, no matter how you look at it.
Thinking,
Okay.
If we hurry up.
Although one time we did an hour show in about 27 minutes. I don't know how we got away with that, but yeah. So we got tomorrow being Thanksgiving, and from what I understand. From listening to Nancy. Now, Nancy's full of information.
Yes,
some other things too, but full of information. And Nancy did say, her and Brene did say that supposedly this year the fresh turkeys are limited. Like there's not the frozen ones are a dime a dozen, but the fresh ones, you better get yours. Well, if you didn't get it by today, who knows? Did you get the fresh turkey?
No, I didn't get the fresh turkey.
There you go. So, but now we're going to get a turkey or just the turkey
I washed
breast?
its mouth out with soap. It got so fresh.
That's right. So fresh we slapped it, and then we put it back in the thing.
That's right. That's what I loved your mom used to say. Don't get fresh with me.
That's right.
Don't get fresh with me, she'd say if you got sassy. That's right.
My mother was truly a Brooklynite.
That's right. She called me Kimberly.
We were right out of Brooklyn. We came, and her accent never changed in all the years she lived in Florida, which was a good thing. She wasn't pretentious. She told you exactly where you stood. If she didn't like you, she'd tell you she didn't like you.
That's right. In fact, the last time I saw her, I was visiting my mom down in Florida, and his mother had gotten bad, and things were going downhill quickly, and she didn't have much time, and I wanted to go by and see her, and she was very self-conscious and didn't, really want to see that many people, but I wanted to see her, and so she let me come over, and I saw her, and the last thing she said to me was, all right, so now you've seen me. All right, you've seen me. And I'm like, I've seen you, Mom. I mean, what else do you do? I did. I just wanted to see you. So, but I mean, she was true to form.
She was. She didn't. It wasn't. There was no fakeness there.
That's right.
It was what it was. And she did cook an excellent turkey and excellent dressing that I grew up you know. And we would keep the turkey carcass in the refrigerator for like ever. I mean, when you finally threw it away, there was absolutely, it looked like it had been picked by, you know, by buzzards, yeah, vultures. It was just every piece of meat was off of it. But that was good. A lot of that was my brother. You know how he is. He likes, you know. But anyway, so we got Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow, which is going to be a wonderful day for everybody. We have a lot to be thankful for, right, which we'll talk about. And we hope you you enjoy your holiday with your family, and maybe you have family coming in or you're going out of town. Be careful, because the weather is not going to be conducive to traveling. You know, from what I understand, there's going to be a lot of delays.
Right.
People are going to have a hard time getting around because of what's happening. I don't know, here, we're supposed to get maybe a wintry mix. We'll see what happens. What's the matter?
It's called nothing.
No.
I'm just listening to it.
Well, that's a change. Usually I'm like, Kim, do you hear me? You know?
I'm listening. I'm just thinking in my head. I'm thinking of all I've got to do. And so I was just
really?
Like, yeah, I got a lot to do. Yeah. I know it doesn't affect you.
Not
You
at
got
all.
a thing to do, do you?
You done?
That's right. Are we ready to eat? There we go.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No, you carve a mean turkey, Joe. You do.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
You do.
I'd like to do.
And what's the secret?
The secret of carving a turkey?
It's an electric knife.
The electric knife, but really, too, if you wait just a few minutes.
Well, yeah, you got to let it rest.
But I do it a lot of times when it's hot and it's ooh, 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 but that knife does go right through it versus having a, you know, yeah. So, all right. So we're going to take a break now that we've discussed all the things that are happening for tomorrow
right,
that
all
are
the
so
fights that are
happy
gonna
and
happen
festive. Don't forget football tomorrow, and that's the most important thing other than the turkey. But yeah, we're going to take a commercial break. But real quick, who do we have on the show? We got a lot of interesting guests.
Yes, we do. We have Reba Terry is going to be here. Is here. She's already in the house from the Caring Place to talk about all the things that they do, and we can tell Reba how thankful that we are for her and the work that she does here in town. Also, Joyce Vanderpool is here, and she's here about the Creative Story Project. This is something that you're really going to want to hear about. We've talked about it a couple of times before, maybe one time before in depth, but we're going to talk more about that. And Pete he's out at the mall. He's doing Santa Claus duty, so we do have Joyce, and we're thankful for Pete. Pete's out there, and Joyce does a wonderful job. So we've just got great people, and of course Ron Moore.
Well, talking about creative storytelling, Ron Moore is here.
Oh, you know, there's some creative storytelling, but he's going to be here, and I'm sure he's going to be ready to eat tomorrow too. I know that Debbie and him do a big feast. I mean, he has a nice little garden that he does.
Yes, he does.
So he'll probably have something. He helps out. I'm sure he helps out.
We'll see how much. We've got him on the show, so he'll say what he does.
I
but
know.
we need to have
He'll
Debbie
tell
on
a creative story
to
about
see
it.
how. And don't forget, we're going to throw this out there too. Ron and I will be Friday night. We're going to go to Knox West, where Cleveland High School, round 4 of the TSSAA high school football playoffs, as they take on Knox West.
Be gone early on Friday.
So we're going to be there. We're going to have that game in its entirety. That will air Saturday. Of course, Football Friday will be Friday night. We'll talk about that game and discuss how, you know, this was the weird thing. We were talking about it last Friday. This is the first Football Friday in 15 years. Of course, we've been doing it 15 years. The first one ever that is happening the week of Thanksgiving. We've never been to round 4 with Football Friday, ever.
That's not true, because we couldn't go to Florida one time.
Because we were debating whether or not, and then it would always end the week before, and yeah, we made it. But yeah, this is the first one during the
We'll go
Thanksgiving
Cleveland. We
holiday.
hope they win.
Yes, we do. And everybody's in Raider Nation now as we all bind together.
That's right.
For a big Cleveland win.
For a hometown win. If
Absolutely.
they win Friday night, they go to the state.
They go to the state, which will be very, very exciting. Great team. They're doing a good job. Coach Ron Crawford's doing a great job. All right. We've got Tennessee Valley this morning, all that we've talked about and more coming your way when we return from these messages, so please stay tuned.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now, Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy. Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning. Again, Joe and Kim Palo with you. And during the break, we finished all of our arguing, so there'll be no more for the rest of the show. We are now joined by Reba Terry from The Caring Place. And of course, those of you watching know Reba. She's been on the show many times before and does a great work here in our community. Thank you so much for being with us, Reba.
It's an honor.
This time of year is when you see a lot of need.
Yeah,
we do. You see a lot of need, and a lot of needs to be met. So tell us how we can help you meet those needs and to where people have a great holiday season.
Okay. I'm going to speak for just a minute to folks who may not even know about the Caring Place.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there may be some new viewers that you have. I'm sure there are. We distribute food and clothing to the disadvantaged here in Bradley County. We also have a diaper program. We are the fiscal agent for Caris Dental Clinic and for Neighbors in Need. So we have a lot going on. We service folks who are at or below poverty, and we try to make their lives better because of the sadness situations that they're in. We do see a lot of need to holidays, but it's all year. It really is. We broke a record last month as far as the number of people served with food. We saw 1,417 families through our center in 1 month, and distributing about 35,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
And that was October, so we know that November will be very similar. So there's a lot of need. So donations of food, it can be perishable or non-perishable because we have a walk-in freezer, a walk-in cooler that we can accommodate any type of food. Year-round, in the summers, we have folks who bring things to us from their gardens, which is really nice to have fresh vegetables to give to our folks. And then, of course, donations of clothing and shoes and mittens and things to keep us warm during these cold months.
We've been lucky this year that it hasn't been so cold.
Yes.
I mean, we've just now this morning, I mean, it's
our
and this
first
past
time.
maybe 4 or 5 days that we've had it really cold, but we have been blessed to have that warmer temperatures.
And especially, for our homeless folks.
Yes.
And most of us don't have to think about what it would, happen to stay in your car or under a bridge, but we have folks in our community that are struggling like that. So help us to be mindful of them and help us to give.
Right.
You know what I think too, Reba, is a lot of people, it's kind of like that out of sight, out of mind. And
Yes.
they don't maybe see it firsthand or they don't happen up on it, so they don't think about it.
That's
but
right.
someone like you and the folks that you have that work there, volunteer, you see it every day. And you see all these needs, and you see how important it is, not to mention how I want to say rampant the homelessness is, especially like in our area, and we don't think about it. So I guess it's more special for you being able, obviously, to help because you see it on a daily basis, and every day you're having to do it. It's not just at the holidays.
Right. Oh, we only have, as far as the clothing, the things that are donated. Folks will come through and say, "Well, I need or somebody will call, I need a size 13 shoe for my husband," or like, "Well, you can come and see what we have." I mean, we only have, so a lot of it's first come, first served kind of thing, and you hate that, but we can't have a steady inventory of sizes and types and those kinds of things. But just be mindful.
Right, and don't hold on to that stuff. You're not going to wear it. You're not going to wear those shoes. If you haven't worn them in the past year, you're not going to wear them again. Just, and donate it. I mean, and don't think that you're going to make a killing in a garage sale or in a yard sale, with it. If you, what that you would get for 50 cents or $1 at your house would do so much for the people that you guys have. And donation is the key.
Yes,
it really is. And it'll make you feel great when you do that too. People, I don't think that, you understand after you do that. You sit up a little taller and feel better about yourself.
Let me ask you this, Reba, because we talk about, and maybe at the holidays it's different, but we talk about, like what she just said, people going in their closet, getting stuff that you're not going to wear again. But do you have people that, especially at the holiday time, will go and buy something new to give to you?
Absolutely.
Jackets especially,
yes, we do. And all kinds of things, socks, underclothes, pajamas, things that we just think are, we have several pairs to choose from, but those are just really special.
Right, mittens and toboggans, those type of things during the holidays.
Coats.
Now, you guys depend completely 100% on donations?
We
or
do.
Do you have partners that also, you have a budget that you can buy?
If it's clothing, it's all donations.
Donations, okay.
Food, we purchase some of the food that we distribute.
Okay.
We also depend on donations, but we have some partners for food. We get some products from several of the local grocery stores, but we also have to purchase some to supplement that. And then there's food drives at churches and schools and places of business that help us throughout the year. We have some barrels that we can bring to, to do some drives off season as well. And I don't know what our time like is here, but I want to mention about our sack pack program.
Yes.
I didn't say that from the beginning. I overlooked it, I guess. But the sack pack is a program we began almost 2 years ago. January will be 2 years ago, from a grant from Bradley Memorial, the funds from the sale of Bradley Memorial Hospital that's managed through the United Way. We started purchasing the products in January to help 200 students in 3 Bradley County schools, providing food for them on Fridays to take home in their backpacks that would otherwise may not have food to eat over the weekends or very little to eat. And it's been a very popular program in our community, and we just have such great folks in our community that help us to do these things. But through the donations of several individuals and foundations and so forth, we've been able to increase that to, last month we distributed 459 bags to 459 students in 9 county elementary schools. So we are very excited. Just in October, we actually relocated our sack pack program to the Cleveland State campus. And it's been a great gift from Cleveland State. It's a win-win. We're able to use some of the students that need to do service learning hours that can help pack the bags. And so it's been a great fit for us. I wanted to especially mention Cleveland State's generosity in this new partnership. Help us to do more.
And that would be great. That would be great for some of those kids to, on a service project, to be able to work. I remember when Reba came in and presented that program for the first time here, and yesterday we talked about it. I was co-hosting with Michelle Baker, that you just don't realize the hungry children that are out there.
Exactly.
And sometimes we're very judgmental about how things should be, and well, if they'll just do that, these kids, it's no fault of their own, and to go hungry. And when you I mean, when you presented that first time, I didn't think I was going to make it through the show. My eyes were just welling. I was like, I mean, and that you have those non-perishable items in there so that they could hide them from their family. I mean, from their parents sometimes, so because they know that their family would take them, and it just broke my heart.
Yep.
And so that you guys have more than doubled
Yes.
the kids that you're reaching, and that you make sure that they have a meal for each day. I mean, you have
Yes,
they get
there's-
little fruit roll-ups,
They
and
do.
they have maybe a box of raisins and
Yes.
maybe beef stew in a can.
Right,
Or
right.
it doesn't have to be heated up. It can be, but it doesn't have to be, and that is just wonderful.
And I think that's it's kind of a bittersweet thing, because it's sweet that you are able to get these donations, that you're able to give these to the students, but it's the bitter part of it is to think that there
We have
are
that need.
over
We have
400
those needs,
kids
right.
that you have to do that for, and it's like that shouldn't be.
No,
That shouldn't be,
no.
especially not in the society
Yeah.
that we have, where everybody seems to have more than enough.
We have 1 in 4 students
Wow.
in Bradley County that are at risk of hunger.
So we have still so many
Amazing.
needs that need to
Yeah,
be
those
met.
are just the
out there.
county schools. Wesley Memorial United Methodist has a sack pack program at Arnold and Blythe Bauer schools in the city, but there's much need in the city. We still have room to go.
Now, how can we help? I mean, how can we help? Blankets, I'm sure,
Sure.
or something that
Sure.
you need.
Blankets
Blankets and
are
food.
great.
Now, where do we go and
Our-
tell the people
okay.
how to give you money and stuff?
Our address is 130 Wildwood Avenue, Southeast. That's our physical location. We have, our phone number is 472-4414, and our website is thecaringplaceonline.org. You should be able to find anything that you need there.
Anything that you need there, and they will take stuff, and they will take money. They will
Yes.
take your check.
All donations are tax deductible.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. And there is just such a need, and you guys do such a wonderful job. I mean, the Caring Place is known throughout Cleveland. If there's a need,
Do the
we're going
best
to
we can.
meet it. And so,
And one thing I would like to say, I get on a soapbox for this, but there's a lot of churches that do a lot of missionary work and the wonderful things that they do all over the world. They send people all over the world and help peoples in third world countries. But a lot of times, a lot of churches don't realize that there's big needs like that right here at home.
Exactly.
And some of these missionaries could do missionary work right here in your own community and still get the same blessing and still help out in the same way and help people that are local that really need the help as much as those in those other
Yes,
countries.
it's
And I don't
true.
think a lot of churches a lot of times see that they don't see the forest for the trees. They just try to see over here. But
Yeah.
you've got things right here that a lot of churches could really help out with.
and they do.
And they do. I was saying they don't, but I do know that there's so
Yes.
much monies that are.
Right, we want them dollars to stay at
Yeah,
home no
I
matter
mean,
what.
help
Don't
the
go
people
shop
that
at
are right
Hamilton
here.
Place either.
Right. That's exactly
And don't
right.
go eat at their Outback. You eat at our Outback.
exactly
You don't
right.
go down
Same
there.
food. It's
That's
closer.
right. That's right. You keep all those dollars here.
But is
all
there-
those donations here.
Is there a phone number too, if somebody's just watching right now
Yes.
to write down?
472-4414.
Okay, 472-4414.
That's right.
And they can talk to you or
Yes.
any of the staff that's
right.
there at the Caring Place. Okay,
Thank
wonderful.
you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
you, Reba, for all that you
thank
do.
you. And you guys, you know, tis the season. Tomorrow's
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving. I mean, and we are so thankful for you, and we're so thankful for what we have this weekend and next week and on into the holidays. Remember to show your thanks. I mean, it's one thing to do the lip service, but show your thanks in the several different areas in Cleveland, Caring Place. There's a lot of other places too, but you can be assured that the Caring Place, it will go to the right things.
And when you're eating that Thanksgiving meal with the stuffing with the liver in it, whatever, and you've got so much food that you're thankful for, think about the people that don't have or that are trying to make do, and maybe it'll spark you to do a little more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being
Thanks,
with us,
Reba.
Reba.
It is my pleasure.
She's always
Thank you.
so calm, and so,
No
we're-
kidding.
I mean,
Take a
two of us,
lesson,
I
Kim.
know.
Take a lesson. All right. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be back with Joyce Vanderpool. And again, we have Ron Moore in the house as well when we return after these messages. Stay tuned.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy. Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning on WTMB. We're now joined by Joyce Vanderpool of Creative Story Project, and of course Joyce and her husband Pete, everybody knows in this community, great community servants, as well as they do wonderful things all around the area.
Right. I guess they're best known for the Santa Project.
Yes.
And this is being safe, and you can go into a little bit of that, about what he does. I know he goes into the schools and talks, and right now he's, well, not right now, but later on today.
He's doing ho, ho, ho.
He will be ho, ho, ho. That's right. With a pretty beard. He's one of those when they go like that, he's ouch.
But they don't do that.
Do they really?
They realize it's real. They don't do that.
Yeah, you can really tell that it is.
Yeah.
So tell us about what's going on, Joyce. We're so glad to have you.
Oh, all kinds of things are
kinds
going
of
on. I want to tag on to what Reba said before I go on to anything else. We have, for several years now, had a chapter of SAFE, which is stuffed animals for emergencies. And we accept donations of new or gently used stuffed animals or toys before Christmas. And last year before Christmas, we gave away about 1,600 stuffed animals.
Wow.
So there's needs for toys too.
Yes, absolutely.
Something to hug. And the Sheriff's Department has toys in their trunk. We give them to foster parents organizations and places that have counseling for kids, anywhere where there might be a need for the kid to have some comfort. So any of the programs that are giving for Christmas now can contact me for animals. And I think I'm going to have a mess of them.
Oh, good.
We have been getting a lot of emails. There aren't that many chapters of SAFE, and there's only one other one in Tennessee. And all of a sudden, we're getting emails from all over the country. I have animals to donate. I mean, you don't want to ship them. I suggest you go to different places. And we got an email from a gentleman who said, I have hundreds to donate.
Wow.
I'm in Boston. And I emailed back, suggested some other places he could go and everything. And he emailed back and said, you have to understand, this was my daughter's service project for her bar mitzvah. This is a little Jewish girl.
Oh my goodness.
Who is going to donate all of her stuffed animals to Santa Claus. And I went, yes.
No kidding.
So they're going to ship them. Our partnership with United Way, we store them there and everything else. So I feel sorry for United Way if all of us get
Get ready, Alan.
a semi-load of stuffed animals or something, but hundreds was a little bit frightening. But anyhow, anybody locally has new or gently used stuffed animals you want to give, you're very welcome to take them to United Way between their business hours, Monday through Friday. I suggest between 9 and 4.
Right, and there are so many outlets here, and that Cleveland is one of the best providers when there are needs.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and the problem is we just don't know what the need is sometimes,
or
and
how
that's
many.
or the validity of the need.
Exactly.
You know, in a lot of ways, because there's some very, very serious needs out there. And with you and the SAFE program and the Santa Project and all the things that you do, that we can be assured that when we are working with these programs, that they're local, things are going to stay here, and that the need is great.
They're coming from Boston, but they're staying in Bradley County.
They're staying here, and that Joyce and Pete, they do a great job with what they do. And also, they do a great program with the Creative Story Project, which is close to my heart too, because of the dementia involved in the Alzheimer's.
The Creative Story Project is getting a lot of very positive attention, and we're very excited. Creative Story Project is actually so simple in its concept, but so all-encompassing in what it can do for people. We can use it for people with Alzheimer's, but we can also use it for special needs kids.
Right.
We can use it for gifted kids. We've done the program now in nursing homes, the senior center here locally. We've worked with ITLT, the Inspiring Tomorrow's Leaders Today from BIC, and our partner also takes it into the women's pod of jail ministry. So it's amazing how many ways it can go. But it started out, its primary thrust is for people with Alzheimer's. And basically, people go, how in the world does it work? It's simple. It uses a silly picture, and then we use open-ended questions, and the people in front of us write the story. We don't tell the story.
Right.
It doesn't need memory. It just needs imagination. And it can be fun.
Right.
It's group building, relationship building. We have some wonderful stories about things that have happened. Pete loves to tell the one about JR, and I'll share it with you just to give you an idea of how these things work. We were at a nursing home, and the first thing we do is go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Joyce, and what's your name? Pete went around, and this gentleman in a wheelchair wearing a ball cap with the insignia of the last ship, apparently, that he had served on. Pete went up to him and said, "Hi, I'm Pete. What's your name?" And very hesitantly, the head came up, and he said, "I'm J.R." So Pete welcomed him, said he was really glad he was there. We went on with the program. We put up our flip chart. We did our pictures. We wrote the story. We did the whole thing, and 45 minutes later, we were done. The nurse assistant came over to us. She says, "You realize that's the first time JR has spoken in about a month."
Wow.
And 10 weeks later, at the end of this, by the end of the 10-week program, we go once a week for 10 weeks, JR was speaking to us in complete sentences.
Wow, that is great.
And we were just so excited about that, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then since that time, 3 months later, we went back for a follow-up visit. We were writing a story about a little boy who was having his first birthday party. He had chocolate all over himself, and his face, and the high chair, and everything else. And of course, one of the questions became, who's going to clean up the mess? And one of the people said, his mama will do it. And somebody else said, well, the rest of the people at the party will do it. But from the back of the room came a voice that said, the old man with the white beard in the front's going to clean it up.
So Pete had to clean it up.
No, JR had spoken.
Oh, he had spoken.
JR was identifying with the situation, and we were just so excited. So there's a lot of things like that that go on, and it's heartwarming. It really is.
It is heartwarming, and it's hard to understand and to know the depth. You know, oh well, he just spoke. Well, no, or people don't understand how great it is when they actually are integrated into the situation, into
Right.
that conversation, that it's not something off on their own,
right.
that they have, because so many times with dementia and Alzheimer's, that it is such a you get into that self-involved point, but when they can share and articulate, especially to articulate it, to come out with
Exactly.
it, then you know that you've really touched a part somewhere.
That's right.
And have made a difference for that day, even if it was just that hour that
That's
you were
right.
there, you know.
But this was
that's
progressive, and that made it even
Right.
more exciting.
And I think a lot of times when that happens, like to say to that gentleman, a lot of times it's because when they start going away a little bit, people seem to, not purposely, but they kind of shun them. They speak around them. They
Right.
speak to the back of them. There's somebody over
Yep.
here. Does he know that he's got something, you
Right.
know? And it causes them maybe to go into that shell. Maybe they're thinking, wow, I may not be talking correctly. I don't realize it. And these people, because they're telling me by their actions and what they're doing that I'm unimportant to talk to. They're going to talk
right.
to my wife or my kids and not. And a lot of times maybe they go in that shell because of that. But when you're able to specifically talk right to them and try to pull it out of them, a lot of times they're welcoming that. They're waiting for that. They want to be able to say something, but nobody will give them the time of day.
And you have to be patient and wait. The key is listening. And sometimes you have to listen to the silence.
Right.
And sometimes you know they're not going to respond, but then you say, well, you tried very hard today, and we'll see you next week.
Right.
Those kinds of things. The other thing, we had another cute story. We had a very jabberbox guy over on this side that always contributed to stories. He was the life of the party. And we had one on this side who hardly ever spoke. And he would wander, and he just wouldn't say much. And one day we were maybe 10 minutes into the program, and all of a sudden this one stood up, walked across the room, sat down next to the other one, and in a few minutes the two of them were laughing and carrying on and both giving us answers. So it builds community too,
Right,
you know, and
absolutely.
these people can be living together in the same area, but until something brings them together
Yeah.
and develops a relationship, they're isolated.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
In so
And
many ways.
sometimes in older generation, maybe they're a little standoffish, you know,
Yeah,
and
they can be.
you know, and then as they get to know that person, whether they live in that same home or not, but as they get to know them, then they do open up a little bit more. You know, this, like her dad, may he rest in peace, when he was going through his situation, he couldn't speak.
Right.
But just try to tell him that. He was one that was going to try to talk, whether you wanted him to or not, and it was actually gibberish. It would just be, that's
Oh,
how
we
he
get
talked.
that too, but then we try to define it for them.
Yes.
Right,
You know?
because they
Yes.
are
Yeah.
sure
He
of
knows
they're
what he's saying.
They
That's
are-
right. And we may just give them an idea of what it is. You know, like if we're saying, what's the dog's name? And it sounds like they're saying, Rover. Was that Rover? You
Right.
know,
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
encourage them. You don't have to ignore them just because they're not able to speak as
Right,
well as
right.
they should. So we're still having lots of fun with it. Right at the moment, we're in the middle of our annual campaign.
Okay.
So obviously, we're looking for donors. We're looking for people to support the program. What we've done, because the nursing homes have difficulty coming up with the full amount of a fee to pay for it, as much as we'd like to do it free, we can't.
Right,
We have
sure.
expenses. What we've done is we've started a program, and we have gotten a couple small grants, that if we ask people to support half the program. So if the grant gives us $50 and the nursing home can afford $50, we've got the program
Right.
paid for. And that makes the nursing home buy into it, but it also helps to get the program in more
Sure.
places.
So in essence, what is needed? What do you need right now? The folks watching.
The
what
main
can they
thing
do?
we need is cash.
Okay, and you're talking as little as.
$10. I don't
$10,
care.
$10 as much as, you know, as many zeros as you can put on there.
And you can do it online. I
Yeah.
know you love to do it online. Our website is creativestoryproject.com.
Okay.
There is a section there that says support us, and you can click on whatever program you want to support, and you can donate through PayPal.
Beautiful.
You're welcome to send a check if you want to.
That's right, that's
P.O.
right.
Box 5981, and that's Cleveland 37320.
But
Now,
do
do you-
go to the website. excuse me,
Yes,
Joe,
visit the
and
website,
you
see what we do.
Yes, you can see what they do, and it gives a little bit more detail that I can't go into
Right.
this morning, everything that they do. But it's a worthy program, and so many times, you know, people talk about things for children, and especially through these years. But we have a whole older community, you know, out there that need your help just as well.
Right.
And this is a great program that integrates and that works within and has a sense of community, a sense of involvement that a lot of times that gets taken away or goes away in a sense.
Well,
so
we'll
they
do
are
a
very
lot.
supportive, and they'll do a great job.
We'll come in anywhere and talk about it. We also have our program with Pete's book,
Right.
The Equipped to Bless, Finding Relevance to the Stories of Your Life. We'll come in and do free church programs.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you my cell phone number because it's impossible to reach my my other half.
Yeah, don't say your better half. We're with you.
Yeah,
You're his better half right now.
I don't know. He's Santa right now.
Yeah.
I'm staying on his side.
yeah, but you stay on his side. It's hard to get a hold of him right now. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. So it's 423-310-7333. It's a fairly easy one to remember. And visit the website or call us, do whatever you want. And
Now,
let's
do you need
talk.
volunteers too?
I don't usually need volunteers, very honestly, because you have to be trained. We're certified and trained. And we do occasionally ask board members if they'll go along with us. Right now, I have to go in alone, because I don't have my Santa Claus.
Right.
But it takes 2 people to do the program.
Right.
But unfortunately, the volunteers have to be trained.
So just donations.
Right at the moment, our key thing is cash
And
flow
awareness.
and awareness, and of course, SAFE will take other things too.
Right.
So,
with all of the
well,
things.
Kelly and I are meeting. Kyle of the
Right.
Refuge and I are
Right.
meeting, and we are going to count and go through animals and everything else because a lot of the animals are going to go to her program.
Right.
So you can call me about all kinds of things. Just call if you want to
That's
chat.
right, that's
I'm
right.
There you
friendly.
go.
She's not, I'm a football widow, except for I learned to enjoy football and be able to talk about it intelligently, or we wouldn't have anything to talk about during the season. So
Joe.
there you go.
I'm a football fan.
There you go. So
See?
now, there I am too. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But Joyce is a Santa widow. That during the holidays, that it started last Friday, that Pete's out at the mall, and
Every
I
day.
know that he has heard some heart-touching stories as
yeah.
well out there with the kids that come in. And I mean, there's a lot of brats out there. I raised a couple of them.
He doesn't have trouble with kids.
No, I'm sure
He has trouble with
wouldn't.
the parents.
Yes,
Yes, I can imagine.
That's what I
So if
just
you're a
said.
parent, behave yourself
Right,
and
behave
stay on
yourself.
Santa's
Exactly.
good list.
That's right, because Joe's over
kids
there
are fine.
knocking the kids away, trying to get in Santa's lap, and I'm
Right,
like,
as
Joe, you
fast
know,
as I
Pete,
could.
you can call him, all right?
It's not the same thing, Kim. I just can't call him and sit on his lap. When
Why
I
don't
see him,
the,
I can go sit
the
on his
two of you need to go and sit on Santa's lap and get your picture made. Your
I
kids
know,
would
we
love
do.
it.
That's really,
we
we
do.
should. We
We
should
should
do
do
that.
that.
He's had him as young as 3 days and as old as 94 years.
No
So you
Oh.
fit in there somewhere.
Yeah, we do. We're about halfway. A little bit more than halfway.
Oh,
Well, Joyce, we thank you so much for all that
Thank
you
you.
guys do,
Yes,
and you
me
and
too.
Pete, and you are a big part of this community and all the things that happen. And the need is there. It's just a matter of getting some of these folks to see it as well and to help out. And hopefully we can spark them a little bit here too.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
And
they-
if nothing else, call me up and converse and,
That's right. Share a story.
yeah.
share a story, or if you have an idea. We're
right.
open to ideas.
Absolutely. And the number, see, I remember it because it's like a vice.
It's
423-310-7333. That's the
That's
number
right.
to
And
call.
if you have a
That's-
memory like mine, just get in touch with the station and we can get you the
CreativeStoryProject.com. It's there
Absolutely.
too.
Right. That's the best
All
way.
right. Joyce, thank you for being
Thank
with us
you.
today. Tell
It's
Santa
always
we
fun.
said hey.
I'll do it when I see him.
That's
Okay.
right.
If you see him.
Well, actually,
we're working on those milk and cookies.
he'll be home tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Thanksgiving is his only day off
Oh, all
until
right. Well, then
Christmas.
there
That's
you
right,
go.
he gets that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
see?
you guys have a wonderful
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
happy
I mean,
Thanksgiving.
we
The same to
do.
you.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
will.
Livers
Liver
or not.
dressing and all.
Yeah.
I know.
Liver dressing.
and all.
All right, speaking of liver dressing, we've got Ron Moore in the house, and he will be here shortly to talk about
Have
some
you
history.
seen Ron? Is Ron here?
Ron is
Yes.
here.
Is he?
He's
oh,
here.
man,
I
I didn't
saw
see
him.
him. I usually see him
Oh, yeah,
beforehand.
he's-
It's,
Ron's
He's
always
hiding.
I know he's always here, but I just like
With
where?
a-
I
with
kept
some
thinking in my
interesting
head.
information.
I know. All right.
So we're going to be back with Ron Moore and more of Tennessee Valley this morning when we return after this. Stay tuned.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy. Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning. Joe and Kim Palo with you. It is middle of the week, Wednesday. What day is it?
Well, it is Thanksgiving Eve, that's
Yes.
for sure, the day
Yes.
before, and I got things to do. I keep telling Joe I got things to do.
It's a holiday I'm good at.
I know.
I'm very good at this
Me
holiday.
too. I love this. I do love this holiday.
I don't eat
It's my
liver dressing though.
No.
See, well, that's your guys' problem. It's
Yeah.
it's wonderful. It's delicious.
No, it's my problem. Is what it is.
And plus, it's good for you. A lot of iron in it. Anyway, we're joined by Ron Moore, our local historian. That's going
That
to
we are
impart
very
some
thankful
history.
for. We
Yes,
thank you
very
for coming
thankful.
on every
Not just
Wednesday
Tennessee
morning.
Valley This Morning, but Football Friday,
Right.
the ball games. He does
And
with
when we
me.
do the
It's
block party, you come
block
by.
party,
I mean, you're just big. You're,
parade.
That's right. I mean, Ron's a good guy.
He
He's a
is.
really
He's a very good guy.
and we are
Well,
just very thankful.
That's
for
probably
him.
my son. Yeah, of course it is. Do this every week, but he calls me early in the morning
I thought
because
there's
he's
a
up.
robot coming up behind me there for a minute.
That's the droid. So, what have you got to
Yes.
talk to us about today?
Intrigue and murder.
Oh,
Let's go back to June 4th, 1933.
Okay.
There was a murder in downtown Cleveland. It's still unsolved as of today.
Wow.
Okay. And we won't solve it today either.
No,
So,
I gotta
yeah.
go home and cook.
Yeah. But Basil Stone was 27 years old, and he worked at a filling station or a gas station in downtown Cleveland. And later it was the Guff station. We knew it as Bob's Guff in
Yes,
downtown.
yes.
It's where the Bank of Cleveland has their
Cleveland.
motor bank
Right.
there. So that's where it was. And the two gunmen came in to rob Basil. He had a roll of money. He kept his money in his pocket. And they come in to rob him, and they walked right by his wife, who was sitting in the car waiting for him to close up for the night, with his 1-month-old baby with him.
My goodness.
1-year-old, excuse me. And walked right past him, walked in there, and demanded the money. Basil said, "I'm not giving you the money." They demanded the money more, and Basil said, "I ain't giving you the money. I'm not giving you the money." And so the guy said, "Well, I'll shoot you." And he says, "You're not getting the money." So he went to hit him with the pistol, and somehow it went off and shot Basil right between the eyes and basically in the head there. And he fell over dead. He never gave them the money, and they still didn't get the money. So they've committed murder now. And it was interesting when you read the old newspaper articles about it, they talk about that, and it was he was slain in front of the wife sitting in the car waiting. And they said, and the slayer got away. But they had two suspects in custody. So I tried to read about this. So, what were they? There were two men went in to rob it, and apparently they got away. And then you read that sped away in a car, never told what kind of car it was, and they even know what road they took out of town, out Georgetown, still don't know what kind of car it was. So I kept reading on and trying to figure, well, the reporting. This happened around 9 o'clock at night, and they had two suspects being held, but they were regarded as unimportant to the case. Now, I was confused as saying if they're suspects, why are they not important? Apparently, one of them was a hobo, and another one was a well-known criminal in the community. He had been in and out of jail, and they just arrested somebody.
Right.
Apparently,
Pulled
but
them in.
not for the murder. But they were holding two suspects. They got no money. The partner in crime, the people described them, but they left and went out Broad Street, and of course this is at the corner of Broad and Central, went down to 3rd, went out Georgetown. So the Sheriff Heisinger, John Heisinger, he notified the Chattanooga Sheriff's Department and the Meigs County Sheriff's Department to be on the lookout for this car, which still to this time I don't know what description, or at least the banner did not put a description of the car in there. Maybe there was reasons for that. There was two small boys that were witnesses. They seen it all, and they basically said that their name was Clifton Duff and Carl Turpin, and they said the stick-up man was going to hit Mr. Stone and his gun went off. So we really don't think that it was going to happen. And but Basil repeatedly says, "I'm not giving you money."
Wow.
And
right in front of his wife and kid.
Yes.
And today now, if that would have happened, who would they be investigating? The wife.
The wife. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because she saw it, and we don't know of any, description. We don't know what car.
But there were two guys, officer.
Yeah.
No, but and no one was ever charged for the murder, or there was never any trial. Many of the Stone family members think the man who killed them, his last name was Stoops, but still no arrest. And these were just probably speculations of the family and things you start hearing around town. Charles Stone, that 1-year-old boy, died last year, August 18th, here in Cleveland, 2012.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So sort of the story now is now going to be folklored. Some of the family said they have recorded some tapes and actually have one of their uncles talking about the murder and stuff like that. But this is a story going away that no one will ever be solved. And so,
Wow.
and if you go into Bradley County history, there's a lot of unsolved murders in Bradley County, and most
Back in the day, not anymore.
Oh no, it's modern times too. One was the Rose Crabtree murder,
Yes,
where
I remember
that
that.
went like
Salvation
25 years before that was ever solved. I think it was. And then there was a murder on Ocoee Street, the KO gas station murder across from the old Bradley High School.
Yeah.
The one of the attendant was murdered,
Yeah.
and that went on for a long time until a criminal and I won't mention names because I worked with the sheriff's department, didn't actually know more about it, but he used a gun in a different crime later on, and after they run the ballistics, it found out this was the same bullets and the same gun that shot that, and he was finally convicted for the murder up here, so 25. But there are other murders around town, and I won't go into all the details because some of these get pretty personal, and there's still family members alive, and there's still suspects alive, and they're still working on these cases. And although they call them cold cases now, they are still could be active anytime because there is no limitation on murder.
Right.
It's one of those crimes that has what's the word I'm using?
There's just no
Statute of
Statute of limitations,
statute of
but that just had to
limitations.
escape me there.
Any
There is no
trial.
statute of limitations on murder ever, so any of those cases could be pulled back up. So, and as I've told you once in one program here that we've only had a couple people die in the electric chair in this area, and those have been earlier years. And so basically, crime goes on here, and
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, there've been some pretty interesting murders, or sad murders, or I don't know what, gruesome murders. Just very, very interesting murders. And if you're into that type of history, Bradley County has a unique history of that too.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but Basil Stone still unsolved today.
All right, real quick, Ron.
Have a happy
And
Thanksgiving.
don't forget, listen to Ron and Debbie Moore on Whoop Radio
That's right.
99.9, 10 to noon, every Saturday, Old Town Cleveland. You'll catch something interesting, I'm sure, this Saturday as well as they always have. Great guests to have on the show. And, of course, wonderful friend, and we thank Ron for everything that he does, and his wife Debbie as well. We're going to see you next time at Tennessee Valley This Morning. Have yourself a good and happy, safe Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving.